us getting out and about. We're running, biking, swimming, all kinds of fun stuff to do outside. That also means the doctors are seeing more cases of injuries. Dr. Sunny Sagar from St. Louis Urgent Care joins us now with some precautions we should be taking. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. We both ran outside this weekend.
Yep.
I don't know that I followed your advice, so I'll take careful notes and listen here. You're saying there's some real benefit to warming up before we do anything.
Right. I don't know if I followed my own advice, but I think I suffered.
Got to tweak it a little bit, huh?
The difference is a lot of my patients ask me, what's the difference between the warm-up and the cool-down? So the warm-up you do obviously before you exercise, and it's more a form of dynamic stretching, meaning you don't hold that stretch in a position for more than a couple of seconds. And this actually helps your muscles warm up. It actually reduces the stiffness. It actually enables your muscles to get more oxygen. And it also helps with recruitment of backup muscle fibers so that you can actually have a more effective workout. And then the cool down is when you do the same kind of stretching, but you hold it for 20, 30 seconds sometimes. And this actually helps eliminate a lot of waste products so you don't get lactic acid buildup, and you actually are able to prevent a lot of the cramping, which I got in my left leg yesterday, and I was walking like an old man for a few hours. But that's the main difference between the warm-up and the cool-down. And done correctly, I mean, it only takes a couple of minutes at the end. Nobody wants to cool down. They want to go and do something else.
Right.
But it really just to prevent the ache later.
And is this critical for the occasional runner?
I think it's good for everybody.
In the everyday, okay.
I think it's good for, I mean, you know, I'm no athlete, but I like to run, and
you do it
like
fairly regularly, right?
Yeah, and I don't like to cramp up, and I think it's, especially as the weather's getting hotter, that brings up a good point. Another good way of preventing cramping is drink plenty of water.
Sure.
And I'd say water more than, you know, the electrolyte drinks and everything else, because that prevents a lot of the cramping. And so in the hot weather that we're getting, like yesterday, you know, there was a lot of cramping going on, and I think hydration will really help. Another thing is, people ask me, what's the difference between a sprain and a strain?
Yeah.
So the ligaments are what attach bone to bone and what maintains the structure of a joint. And tendons are what join muscle to bone. And so the ligaments are actually important for structure, and the tendons are for movement.
Okay.
I just remember the T for strain is when you actually damage a tendon or the muscle fibers attached to it. And a sprain is where you actually are fraying or pulling too much a ligament. The difference is unimportant. We use the words interchangeably all the time because the treatment's essentially the same.
That was
so
my
I just
question.
thought I'd
Sure.
make that useless fact.
No, that's good.
Clear for everyone.
And does the treatment always involve icing? Because I know there's always this battle between heat and ice.
So people, well, heat I don't do for injuries. Heat is generally for infections and things like that. So people ask about ice and heat. Ice is for an inflammation caused by trauma more than anything else. And heat is more for the infection. So people have this acronym RICE, which stands for rest, which is you rest the joint for a day or two, less than 48 hours usually. Ice packs, you can put it for 30 minutes at a time, on and off, 3 or 4 times a day. You can do it every hour if you like. Compression, which is a compression bandage, usually like an elastic bandage or an ACE wrap, people call it by the trade name. And that immobilizes the joint, prevents the accumulation of soft tissue fluid in the joint, prevents gravity from accumulating fluid into your ankle, for example. And then there's, of course, elevation. That's the E, and that again prevents accumulation of fluid into the joint. And then there's a couple of other things. I add anti-inflammatories with meals, of course, and that reduces the swelling. And then adding weight and movement as you're able to, as is comfortable after that.
Okay, some good advice there as we head into the summer season where we're all being more active, we hope, and do it safely. We will link you to Dr. Sunny Sagar, stlouisurgentcares.com.